Hey everyone, welcome to the practice round for Grizzly Gulch, getting ready for the Disc Golf Valley Players Tour, Week 5. Let's jump right in, Grizzly Gulch 1. There's a few bonus strokes out here on this course, but not a lot. Your main here is accurate windbreak fuse, aim a little bit to the left, and just pull out straight back. This is going to glide over the top of those trees and leave you right down in a pretty simple throw-in range. That's what I'm doing here in just about every wind. I can't think of any wind where I'm throwing anything other than the fuse at this basket. I might take a little bit of power off or aim a little bit higher if there's wind pushing me hard. Grizzly Gulch 2, this is an ace run for me. Unless there's low wind, I put the tip of the bottom chevron right on the side of that tree and just a little bit of anhyzer on that, or a little bit of hyzer on it. Oh, is it going to go first time? No, it's not. But you get the idea, just to put a little bit on that. If you get the wobble right, get the one wind just right, pushing in the right direction, you got an ace chance. But that's the role I play every time with the accurate roll sapphire. Get down there. If you got a big tailwind, you might go accurate roll musket or something a little bit slower, just to make sure you don't go too far past that basket. Grizzly Gulch 3 is the first separator stroke opportunity, most likely. For me, it's a glide skip paradigm. You could also do this with a captain or a glow breaker at the DD3. Put the middle chevron pointing right at this fence post. You see it on there. And the pullback with a one wind is about 2/3 of the disc. With the two wind, I'm going to go just under a full disc. Getting to the side here and skipping up to have a chance at that throw-in. This throw-in, depending on where you are, you're at about 15 to 20 feet, so 66 feet. But with that two pushing wind, I'm just going to throw it straight 60. And need to go a little bit more. Let's back that up. Not going to back it up. Didn't quite make it in. Let's try one more time on this hole. I didn't account for the 6 and the 66. My rounding was too quick. Slide left, middle chevron on the fence post, and a little bit of anhyzer on that paradigm. It's popping up here pretty high. That's kind of the right spot. As close as you can get to that rock on the right side, you're going to skip up further. And there we go, getting the throw-in. Let's move on to Grizzly Gulch hole 4. On hole 4, the primary play here is the accurate roll sapphire. Slide right, aim down. I used to aim right at the top of this rock, now I just aim a little bit higher. And then adjust for the wind. It's a little bit of hyzer, about a half disc hyzer on it. If there's a one wind, that 3 wind, I was able to throw it straight and let the wind push it right back over. Let's do one more, see if we can get a different wind I can show you on this. It's a big pushing wind. It's just a big pushing wind. I'm actually going to go accurate roll musket instead and make sure it doesn't end up in the water. So I'm going to give this more hyzer than it probably needs and make sure that I end up here on the left side, not pushing into the water. Roll up the hill and then go and toss this guy in. You really don't want to end up in that drop zone. It's kind of a tricky drop zone, and if you miss, you're going straight OB into the water to try it again. I don't have a great drop zone play there. My play is pretty much try to not get in the drop zone. Grizzly Gulch, as I'm doing this video, I might realize that this might go light glide rive. The light glide rive, right here, and pretty much a straight bull back, a little bit of anhyzer, is getting up on that shelf. So I'm probably going to put a rive in my bag. It's a bit harder with the paradigm, or really any other light driver that's not a rive. I want to aim ideally to end up a bit more to the right. See if I can get a bit more to the right on this one to slide up there. I did not, so probably going to bounce down low. And this is getting the throw in if you don't get up there. I need to add about 20 feet. But again, that 2 headwind lets me take it off. So I'm just going to throw that 100 and be able to get in there for what would be the eagle. Yeah, the light glide paradigm, light glide captain, those work there. But if you have access to a light glide rive, put in your bag. I'm going to put it in my bag just for that one hole here. This is light glide paradigm. So as I'm saying that, I'm realizing I'm going to have to think about what else might come out. Probably take the river out of my bag to put the light glide, keep the light glide paradigm in for this hole, because it makes this shot a piece of cake. Line that up there just to the left, aim up a little bit. And with the captain, it was a straight pullback. The paradigm, I had about a half disc. That's how I adjust from my captain lines to my paradigm lines, is add about a half disc of anhyzer to the paradigm to take the flight that the captain would have taken. If you get a really big pushing tailwind here, you can bring that to a sapphire. This is not the big pushing tailwind. So I'm going to light glide paradigm again, slide left, the middle chevron on the hillside just next to that tree. And the one wind has me here, so the two wind, I'm going to go full disc of anhyzer on that to go and get down here to the green and take a fairly simple routine eagle. Let's go ahead and tap this one, and we can move on to Grizzly Gulch 7. On Grizzly Gulch 7, here we are. This is notorious for rollaways into the water. I think one of the best plays here is accurate roll sapphire, slide right, and aim down top chevron on the top of the distance marker. And usually put some hyzer on this, but with the wind, I'm just going to go a straight pull back, and the wind's going to do all the work on its own for me. I want to get it up here on the hillside, and if you get stuck behind a tree, you got a little bit of problems, but most of the time, you're going to get safely up there. It's a matter of making slightly tricky downhill throw-in. Yeah, my throw-in's a bit off a little bit. Let's try one more time there. If it doesn't go in, I'll just move on. And it does. Didn't take quite enough off. 3 headwind and downhill. Probably could have got a forehand on that one, where it worked out just well. Let's go back to the sapphire. It's going to do that same line again. Give that one a little bit of anhyzer because I got a little further to the left last time than I would have liked. Looks like it might be in a similar spot. Yeah, pretty much that same spot again. 65 foot. Let's try a forehand this time. So just coming down the hill. Let's see. Forehand's going to fade off to the right. Right about there. That does work. That forehand trick, I work on it more. Figure out that forehand throw in. You're going to have a good shot at saving a lot of strokes with 3 headwinds. This is a wind where a lot of people are going to be running this, taking like a rive or a flippy skippy driver up here to the right side. I think the play is still light glide paradigm or your turn glide rive, for example, and just get it out here around the left side and ended up still in a good range here. If I'm about 170 in a 1 wind and not behind this tree, there's a good chance at making this with the warship. With this 140, I don't know if I'm going to get tree collision here, so just kind of give it a little bit extra. I did get tree collision, and I'm able to still stay up here and be able to get it in. So if you're not sure about the collision, give that a little bit extra power. Make sure that even if you get collision, you're going to get there, but not so much power that no collision means you're going to be flying OB. Let's try one more time with the light glide paradigm. Forehand out around the left side, slide left, aim to the left of this tree, and a straight pullback. Gets you a nice spot up there. Then my goal, ideal here, is be about 170 out. Hopefully I don't roll behind any trees. I think it's a little further than that 170. 184, had that pushing tailwind. So let's see if it can get up there to get in the basket. Close. Not quite. No, the 170 would have done it. 184. There might be a river line there, but it's one I don't know very well, so I'm not going to try something like that. Going into Players Tour, play conservative and take strokes where strokes are available. Grizzly Gulch 9 is most of the time, accurate glide sapphire, aim down the top chevron on the top of the basket, and about half disc of anhyzer. And not much can go wrong here if you're hitting this gap successfully and adjusting for the wind. If you have a big tailwind or a right to left wind, I suggest switching that up and go instead with the accurate roll sapphire so you don't hit the top of the cave and roll back down to the river. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope this helped you some and saved you some strokes on this week's Coming Player Tour. Good luck with your rounds. Stay bogey free.